Yay, he got in!
We know being a parent is hard enough as it is. And in Singapore, when it comes to schooling, you may have to take on yet another more stressful task.
What?
Moving. Property Parent is a brand new series that hopes to make it just a little easier on you. Let us do the research and we'll break it down for you in easy steps. Get ready to be homeschooled with Ohmyhome. Let's kick this off by starting with the important question. When it comes to schooling, does it actually matter where you live? Now the short answer is yes. Over the years, this Primary 1 registration exercise has become a really complicated scheme with multiple phases and rules. So let's try to simplify it. The Ministry of Education prioritizes a child's admittance to a school based on the distance from their home. Singapore citizens are also always prioritized. This means, barring affiliations, you have the best shot at getting your child into the school of your choice if your child is a Singapore citizen and you live within a kilometer from the school. This could make a huge difference as to whether your child gets in, and it is an important factor to bear in mind moving forward. If there are more children applying to the same school than there are available spots, and they're all living within the 1 km and 2 km boundary, then balloting is conducted. Let's break this down even more. 1. Your older child is already in that school. This means they qualify for phase 1 of the registration and they are guaranteed a spot. Or there are other affiliations, like if you or your partner are alumni members or former students of those choice schools. So basically, unless your child is affiliated to your school of choice in some way, phases 2B and 2C are the next in line, which is when your home proximity comes into play. Remember though, staying near your kid's preferred school does not guarantee you a spot. That's why many moms and dads, on top of moving, also volunteer to their choice school in hopes of boosting their chances. Get this, in many cases, you'll need to go through a ballot just to volunteer, and this needs to be done at least a year before your child needs to be registered. This isn't a secret, but many parents still miss the deadline. Bear in mind, although there are spots in every school that are reserved for children who do not have any relations to the school, it is a fairly small number as compared to the number of children applying to be enrolled every year. So, what are the options? You can choose to stay where you are and go to an affiliated school, or take a look at the schools that are already near your home. Many parents do this. Sometimes staying put is the best and only option. Or if you choose to and you have the means, you can move, whether it is to a whole new neighborhood within the range of your target school or just within your neighborhood to get closer to a school that is already nearby but not quite near enough. You can buy or rent a new home, whichever you prefer and what your situation allows. A few things to note though. You will need to stay at the address for at least 30 months from the start of registration if you manage to secure a spot for your child. For private housing, parents who have just bought a completed property or even one that is still under construction can use the new address to register their child. You just have to prove that the place is yours. Or for public housing, you must buy a resale HDB and you must show approval of sale. But you would have to have moved into the new property within 2 years of your child entering Primary 1. As far as rentals go, you must have signed a tenancy agreement before registration begins. So let's say your family has decided that you would like your older child to attend ACS. Neither you nor your partner have any affiliation to that school, so phase 1 and 2A are out. What's left are phases 2B and 2C. Besides volunteering, you guys decide to take the chance and move from Toa Payoh, where you are, into the Newton or Novena area. After balloting, unfortunately, your son didn't manage to get a space. Here's what happens next. Firstly, take a deep breath. It will be okay. As parents, it's so easy to panic and somehow place blame on ourselves. We should have volunteered, As a mom, I totally understand, and you're totally entitled to feeling that way. But try to remember, in the grand scheme of things, your child will be more than okay. Now, after you've had your moment, go ahead and join that school's waitlist. You really never know whether a spot is going to open up. Meantime, you can look into other alternatives, like the other neighboring schools, to see if those would be a good fit for your child. It would be good if you moved to an area that has a number of schools, so there are always options in case your child doesn't manage to get a space. We just want to share that there is significant risk if you choose to buy a property solely to get your child into a choice school. So here are some helpful tips to help you prevent this scenario. Before committing to buy a place, the first thing you can do is to check out what phase your child will be applying under. There's a good level of risk difference between registering under phase 2B rather than 2C. Then go online and look up the number of placements allocated for that phase for that primary school the year before and what the success rate is. That will help you gauge your child's chances. You can also engage an agent to see what your options are. Or if you've already rented a place, see if you can strike a compromise with the landlord as to whether you can help find someone to take over the lease. So understandably, this really is a stressful time for parents, and many families grapple with the decision. Is it worth all the risk and the hassle, and should we up our current lives to move to a new home just for primary school? Whatever you choose, do whatever works for you and your family. And remember, when all is said and done, especially during primary school years, it isn't the school that is most important to your child. It's you. Especially at that age, it's the parents who are the most important and biggest influences. And we are the ones who pass and impart values on our children. We know best when it comes to what our children's strengths, talents, and weaknesses are. While a suitable school can help with your child's educational growth, you can never replace or substitute the role of a parent. We hope this video has helped you understand a little bit more about the process, options, and what to do when it comes to primary school registration. In our next episode of Property Parent, we hear from parents on both sides of the aisle on whether it is truly worth moving for your child's school. Till then, keep calm and parent on.